Market's ripping, market's dipping, market is providing opportunity. We had a little bit of a mic issue there, but we are back. We're talking about what's going on in this market. I just had to give you all a fearful feeling of technology not working. The market's dipping. Everything's broken. Oh my God, everything's broken. It's breaking down. It's crashing. But is it really crashing? We can see right here, nothing has changed. There's no issue whatsoever with where we're at in the market. In fact, this is incredibly bullish. We've been getting exuberant as, I can't even drop the word I want to say. My mother, like I was a kid, she would wash my mouth out with soap. But this is needed, this little pullback. Are we going to get more? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some altcoins, and we're actually going to dive in and look at the BitLab members, the premium members Discord right here, and see. I just threw in here, I said, hey, where's it at? I said, hey, what coins should I be looking at here on the stream? And so we're going to be looking at some of the coins that the BitLab members in this members chat area, what they wanted to look at. And so a lot of you that are here right now also, obviously are participating in this. So we'll do that. And, right now, the first two members that name a coin, if you have a BitLab thing, I'll do your coin as well. So I want to see a little BitLab here on the YouTube, a little beaker next to your name. If there's the first two that I see, I will do some TA on those as well. But we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things going on in this market. Yes, it moved around. Yes, it's scary, but let's look exactly at what's going on really in the market, because the short-term holder cost basis is all the way down here at $54,000. But in reality, let's be honest. The metric for bull markets that really determines strength in bull markets is price coming back and testing that short-term holder cost basis. I'm still waiting on two members to identify two coins. I don't see two member coins yet. So members, get on it. If you have a BitLab beaker next to your name and your name is in blue, let's see it. I got to give some special love and special benefit to those members. Arbitrum from B Team Crypto. Let me write a list down right now. We absolutely need to look at Arbitrum. I think they also had a token unlock. So Arbitrum, ARB, and let's see, boom. So I'm just going to put this right here. And ALGO, Donato Cabrera. Awesome. So we got two from here on the YouTube, and we have some from the BitLab members in the Discord as well. So here we go. Are we buying orders today? Hey, I already bought it. It's one of those moon bags. I'm not trading it. It dipped a little bit. I was almost wanted to because of the dip, but I had traded out of TIA a little while back. So I had to get that position because we got the dip, but we'll talk more about that in a second. Notice this move right here. The move that we just had to the downside, yes, it was scary, but it was only about 11, 12% move, 11.1, right at 11% move to this downside on this wick. And we came right to the level. And we can actually go through, by the way, if you're not following me, give me a follow right here at Kelly Kellum. And make sure you're giving BitLab Academy a follow at Academy BitLab. And coming right, where is it at? This is what we're doing right now. That scary bull trend. It's also crabbing a little bit sideways, chopping up people who are not prepared. But there it is. This is what I want to talk about. This is a snapshot. I was laying in my bed this morning. And this is just a chart that we had drawn up from yesterday and from a week or two before, identifying this level. And we talked about this level right now, right here, which we will break down in the charts when we're doing TA. But we talked about this level right here. If we lose this level, we want to see what the bounce does, because we are forming a new low here. Are we going to get a lower high, which in this case, it also represented a flip of this previous support to resistance. And look at this yellow line. The yellow line, the weekly VWAP, that determining factor of if the big shots in this market, those people with big accounts, those people with, really understand how to move this market, are they playing a negative spread or a positive spread? And what do we see? Price action comes down. So we have a negative spread, and we get to see what their determination is when price comes back to this level. And what do we see? Price comes back to this level. We get a little bit of a fake out beyond it, but ultimately we get rejected. They want to play the negative spread, and we're getting that negative spread. But we had this area mapped out already. The next level down is 621,405. We're going to get more into the TA here in a moment. But I just want to point out, if you're watching this stream, if you are in our Discord, we had two incredible member streams yesterday. If you are a BitLab member, come down in this BitLab member zone. Boom, right here. And by the way, if any of you have signed up and you're frustrated because you haven't had access, check your email, and yes, check your spam folder because you automatically got sent an email that shows you how to yourself follow 2 simple steps and you automatically get added access. If you don't have access, it means that you, not us, you did not follow the 2 steps to automatically get the access added. You still have issues following 2 steps, send me an email at help@bitlabacademy.com. But in this zone, we had 2 member streams yesterday, one with the legend himself, Mr. John Dalton, and the other with Mr. Joshua Jake. You can come right here into the rewatch streams and see. I don't do elaborate thumbnails for these because you guys want more content. I can't spend my time doing thumbnails for these member streams. It's just a title. But essentially, we did trade setups. And yesterday's member stream at 1 p.m., John Dalton and we both were talking about a likelihood of a pullback or a chopping sidewaysness area in this price action. This is hours, many hours before that drop. We talked about it there. We had, 60 people in the room. And then on this subsequent member stream, we did 2 yesterday for the BitLab members in the Discord with Joshua Jake. He was talking about those liquidation levels and the price action and where it could go. And the price action is doing what the data told us it would do. So if you're following the data and not being held hostage by your excitement or fear over the price, then you can navigate this space. So coming back over here, we are in a bull trend, small pullback, necessary, wonderful. Now, yes, we are getting in a bull. We are very bullish, but we're in that bullish, okay, let's chop some suckers out right now. And if you do not have a plan, you will be chopped suey. Now coming here, yes, we mapped it out. And then right here, this is a key thing right here. I don't care if you've seen it on other YouTube channels or anywhere else, read articles about it, but this is a key thing right here. Coinbase premium going below 0. This is saying that if the premium remains negative when we get a bounce, it may signal a warning sign to the market that the U.S. institution stance in the U.S. is beginning to shift. And this is important because when we come over, let's actually pull up a new chart here. Bitcoin strategy, there we go. Bitcoin strategy platform. Highly recommend getting an account here. It's very affordable from the Rational Root, bitcoinstrategyplatform.com. But if we come down to the ETF data, where is it at? ETF tracker, boom. We do see a reduction over time, but do we? We had 9,000 Bitcoin bought. Even with 3,700 sold, almost 3,800 sold by Grayscale, subtracting that from all of these totals, we still got 9,000 Bitcoin bought Wednesday. And yet yesterday we only had 1,800. So this is kind of, pairing up with this story about potentially there's a little bit of a sell-off or a little bit of a lack of interest from institutions. But if we zoom down here and we look at this right here, look at this moving average. Moving averages give you a clearer picture of the direction of things happening. The moving average of the net flows, the growth rate of ETFs is still very positive, even with this reduction right here. But we've seen this before. We've seen this before. We've seen this before. It's still at right here. Let me get my mouse directly over it. Boom. Still at the average is 4,394. So yes, we have some days with 10,000. Yes, we have some days with 1,800. But the average over time, you see this line, it's still angled to the upside. This is bullish. This is positive. Now, we've got a lot of things in the market right now that are scaring people, but you have to realize you cannot be married to the direction you hope or think or want the price to go. The fact is, there's a lot of people in the market that probably feel that way too. The majority of the market right now wants it to go up. By it wanting, the people wanting it to go up, that also creates a scenario where there's a huge amount of people that bet leverage long and then bet leverage short. Let's actually come over here. Let's go to x.com. And I would just want to scroll down on something here. Boom. Let's see. It's right here. No, it's not negative premium. This right here, credible crypto. So all this price action movement to the upside. Shout out to Alexander G, gifting 5 memberships. Big love to you. I appreciate you. I always appreciate it. Anytime it makes my heart smile. Anytime I see a super chat or memberships, it just, or signing up for BitLab Academy and being in that community on Discord where we have all those VIP charts and trade setups and coin watch lists for those next huge gains. When you guys become any sort of way actively involved, that's right, even by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, dinging the bell, it's the easiest. That's a free way But anyway, you guys help participate in this channel, and it really does mean a hell of a lot. I appreciate you. So I see you. Thank you. But this right here, price is moving up. I was talking about that unhealthiness because so many people are jumping at the opportunity because they think it might run very quickly to 100 and beyond. But we have to look at this. Okay, a bunch of data here. What is it really saying? At the end of the day, look at this. Aggregated funding rate dropping. What do we see? The premium here on VLO down. But essentially what we're seeing here, funding nuked. Per premium at lowest levels in a while. Open interest, which is what OI is. How many people have leveraged positions open? Open interest almost completely reset and back to baseline. These are bottom things, folks. Slightly front ran the 63, 64K zone. But if bottom isn't already in, it's damn close. Talking about the bottom of this retrace. Now, could price just completely ignore what people wanted to do? In this case, he's suggesting the bottom might be in. Absolutely. We could get something that scares a market and drop down to that 54. Hell, we could go down to 48. The point being is, let's not look at the price action right now with this and forget that this is ultimately what we're in. This is what we're in. This is just a move right here within that. We've got to allow the market to build the staircase, the stairway to heaven. We have to let that happen. And sometimes scare the living hell out of us and then ultimately result back up. We are at a part of the market cycle where we are looking, and I've been talking about this for a month plus, looking for those buy the dip opportunities. And a lot of you said in your own inner monologue, in the Discord, in the YouTube, on other comments, a lot of you have said, if price only dipped, I would be able, I'd start layering back in, or I'd jump in finally, or I'd finally get that coin, or I'd lower my average interest. Here's your opportunity. Now, could it go lower? Yes. And this is why we talk about all the time in the BitLab Academy courses, as well as here on the YouTube. When we have this area identified, and we have this area identified, and we have this area identified, this is why it's important to have a means of generating capital, whether it's your job, whether it's trading, whether it's, it doesn't matter what it is. But having dry powder, and if you don't have a way to generate more, then you look at that allocation of dry powder and you say, okay, if it drops here, I'm putting in, 25, 30%. If it drops here, I'm putting up 30% more. So, that would total 60% of that. And then if it does get all the way down here, then you have that opportunity to get in there as well. And then if you have that dry powder that you're layering in throughout these moves, it actually makes you excited that the price action reaches ultimately that best target. Now, if that's not the case, here's the truth. Some of you don't have any dry powder at all. Maybe you're all in. Great. There's no problem. We can't compare ourselves to others. Maybe we made some missteps. Maybe we made some, it doesn't matter. Where are you at today? What are you doing about your situation? In this case, if you are fully allocated or you just don't want to put any more in the market, that's okay. But that doesn't mean because you're not having a target that you're trying to get in at, doesn't mean you need to be just so frustrated at this. Patience is the moniker of success. This market is going to move money from the impatient to the patient. So let's continue on with what we want to talk about here. A couple more things. High block. Let's go ahead and look at some of the levels here. Let me reload this. By the way, how's everybody doing? How are you feeling? Are you grateful today? Market's red. I'm actually grateful the market's red today. I don't mean that in a sort of, if you're in a bad position, because learn from it. There are moments in these markets that, let me say this, there are moments in these markets that become a tuition moment, meaning you made an error, you lost money, you got scammed. You can duck your head in the sand and cry about it, and all of us are going to do that to some degree, but we are not victims in this market. We are the masters of our own domain. We can learn from our mistakes. Hell, we can learn from others if we turn down our ego, become humble, and really create a scenario where we can grow in the space and change our lives. That's what this is all about. That's what BitLab is all about. I learn from you, you learn from me, and together we can help each other ride this to incredible, incredible levels and change our lives together. I want you to learn from my mistakes. I want to learn from yours, and I want us all to grow. So everybody, if you are interested in that, follow us for more. Join us in this community. I just want all the rising tide to raise all ships, because that's what this is about. We're not victims. We're excited about this dip and we're going to take advantage of it. So let's go ahead and take advantage of that market scenario right now. So here is the liquidation map right here, liquidation levels. So not so long ago, this was very green. The simplest factor, very green. Once it's green, you're looking for when it flips to red. Once it's red, you're looking for it to flip to green. We have a whole new lesson that's going to be dropped in the BitLab Academy courses that really breaks down this windshield wiper method, the liquidity flushing down and then back up and then back down. The line right here. This has moved down. Now, where do you see most of the color? Most of the color is to the upside, up here. In fact, the darkest area is up here at this $74,000 level. We've been talking about this for a while, for about, I think all week, that $74,000 level with all those liquidation levels that could propel us, one, be a resistance, but if we clear it, can propel us to that next stair step. Remember, stair step. I should do it like this, stair step to the up, rise, retrace, continuation. Now, the question right now everybody has, is this a retrace continuation back to the upside, or is this going to be not a retrace, but a breakdown, rise, fake out, and continuation to the downside? Looking at this chart right here on the 12-hour, we can see a lot of liquidation stacking up here because there's a lot of people that have layered shorts in through these regions. This was already fairly thick in the zone, but as it started dropping, boom, as this started dropping, then these liquidation points really started stacking up. So if historically, this is how you look at any sort of metric, any indicator, any signal, any data point, nothing's going to be all the time. But if historically price action tends to move where the hottest level of liquidations are, then what do we see here? This gives us some confidence, even though this is a fall, rise, continuation to the downside. The difference here is this is a fall, V-shaped recovery up, and we have a lower high that can't even eclipse the lows of this previous range. And the breakdown here, now we have a W formation sort of forming down here, and we have a huge amount of liquidations above us. If we look at this chart right here, now we can see this is another look at that same sort of data. Let's zoom in on this like this. Where's the bright colors? Above us. Currently, there is a level directly above us at 69. So that tells us two things. At some point, price is likely going to attempt that level. It doesn't mean it's going to break through. It's going to attempt it. And we're always fighting a battle between the bulls and the bears. What narrative has the strongest conviction? That's what every bit of movement in price action is. Take your bias out of it. Take TA out of it. What is the dominant narrative that has action within the chart? In this case, if we do understand data and we do understand liquidation zones and price action getting sucked into those levels, this is suggesting that, especially looking at this, this is suggesting that there's a higher degree of likelihood that price action may move up and test this $69,000 zone. It's all going to come down to if the buying power is there to cut through this, and if so, this will likely move relatively quickly. Let's actually reload this page relatively quickly up to that next zone. Let's go to the 7-day, boom, up to that next zone up in that $74,000 region. So we saw the 12-hour, this is a 7-day. On the 7-day, we still have an area below us that we could test, $65,000, and then potentially down to that $57,000 level. This is on a liquidation basis. Now, when we come back over to what we're looking at here, remember that short-term holder cost basis still gives us a huge bullish signal, meaning if price action were to drop, look how fast the short-term holder cost basis is going. If you're new to this channel, I'm here to tell you what the hell is a short-term holder cost basis. Well, looking at this chart, let's turn off realized price. Let's turn off the long-term holder cost basis. Let's turn off 21-week moving average. Let's turn off 200-day moving average. And what do we get? Short-term holder cost basis. Even if you don't know what it is, what's the correlation in the data on the chart? When we break bullish through this, it acts, boom, as a springboard. Bounce, bounce. This actually had a huge spread, but it's still to come down towards it. And then look at this. Once we lost it, rejection, 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 rejection. What we do? Broke through it, bounce, bounce. A little deviation, bounce. Similar thing back here. All the way down here when the price was ridiculously low. This is probably about $500, 200. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just, yeah. So that was about $200, $245. But once we broke through it, support, 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 support. It's the same thing that we were talking about with the VWAP, positive spread or negative spread. We're playing a positive spread right now, and we're testing the resolve of that when we're looking at the chart. And this is it zoomed in. This is that short-term holder cost basis. So even if we got to drop below that, $60,000 mark, don't have a heart attack. Now looking at the price action, let's do it. If you guys are ready for some TA, hit that like button right now. I don't know what you're doing if you haven't hit the like button. Hit the like button. Give us some love. Join us in the family. We got a positive, wonderful. I hope I put a spark in y'all's day. I hope I give you knowledge. Hope you learn something. I hope I'm not just a talking head. This is about a community thing. And I want to impact you. So if you tune into this stream for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or an hour, that you leave feeling better about your situation and having more tools that you can utilize to dominate this area of your life, but also realize that all the things that you're doing in these markets, all the things that you're doing trading, all the emotions that trading and investing is a great signal as to how you really are as a person. If you're getting easily flustered with the charts, you're probably getting easily flustered with your family members. If you're getting emotional because it's not going your way in the charts, you're probably the same way. So this is a good, it's analogous. I can never say that word. It's a good analog to compare. If you're feeling certain things or failing in certain ways in the charts, note that that's probably how you are in real life too. So let's be better in all areas, not just making money. We're here to make money so we can live a better life and also improve our families' lives and also help people. So let's talk about it. Here's those two dips. Here's those two dips. We had the rising wedge. We've seen historically over the last month or two, a lot of the rising wedges broke positive, but I was telling you yesterday, this is a bearish pattern. It does have this possibility just to keep running the upside, but we cannot ignore the fact that right here, let's go to make this larger. The price action we know has been going up. These tops have been going up. What do we see right here between the momentum waves? We have this red line already drawn for us, bearish divergence on the momentum waves, but also here on the RSI, lower high here, lower high on the stochastic. So there's quite a bit of weakness developing as price was trying to push higher. We still have very positive money flow, but then we also see, here's a low on the VWAP, about the same low, but then now a deeper low on the VWAP. They're playing a negative spread here. So let's see what happens when this VWAP gets back up near the zero line, whether this VWAP comes up into this zone and rolls back over. That maybe indicate further downside. Or if it comes up here, has a little bit of a trouble, and then breaks to the upside. It's telling us the intentions of these bigger players. Now, we do see the stochastics have come down and reset quite low down here at the 19% mark. How do I know it's 19%? Look where your mouse is. Look over right here. Just like when you're up here on the charts, when you move your mouse, you see the price level your mouse is at. When you put your mouse here, look to the right, you can tell. So if I go right here, for instance, option J, you can see that's 20% mark right there. Boom. This is where your measurement is, if you're ever wondering about that. Now, if you want to look at this expanded, just double click on it, makes it large. Double click again, it goes back low. If you only want to see the chart, double click up here. Make sure indicator's gone. Oh my God, where'd they go? Double click again, bring them back. Tips and tricks, baby. You get them all here. So what we're seeing, this is on the 4 hour. Stochastics have come down and reset. We are at a level, which is not only the point of control here on the BitLab volume, this volume profile shows you where most of the volume is traded in this visual, whatever is on the chart, it's calculating that data. If I change this, you'll see this changes based on what is visual in the chart. So going back to this view we just had, we have this point of control right in this same zone that we also had our own line drawn. Price action came back down into this level. Now, in terms of what's going on here, let's go ahead and draw a fib, option F. You're on PC, it's alt F from the bottom to the top. And look at this. On this move, let me shrink this down a little bit. On this move, here up to the top, look at where the wick came down to. The wick came down where? To the golden pot. I can draw this over just like this so you can see. the golden pocket, 0.618, 0.65. So currently, this is still incredibly bullish. We have to be ready to pivot on a dime. Could be comments from anybody in government that has an impact, or a change in the Coinbase SEC case, or even though the SEC just had their website down last night, said page not found. I thought that was interesting. But there's a lot of things that are, that can drive this market down. We still haven't had a big reset beyond 20% this whole bull cycle since January of 2023. So a month and so 14 months now. We have not had a sizable correction, anything like we've had in previous cycles. Now, does it have to happen? No, but as this stands right now, and we have to be ready on a moment's notice to shift. This is still bullish. This is a breakdown, confirmed breakdown. Boom, we found support on the point of control, which means the most volume. At what price level has most of the volume traded? Right here, this level is 67,469. We wicked below that and came back up, and now we're sitting right above that, right on the level that we had drawn as well, based on price action, this sort of high rejection, support, and now we're sitting right on this level. If we lose this level, ultimately I'm watching 65, which what was 65 that we just looked at? We're looking for confluence or disagreement in levels that we have on our charts, what we're seeing, but also with what the data says. The data was just telling us a second ago that $65,000 mark. Look at that, 64, 65, right in here. Look at that colorful little. I feel like Bob Ross. You just got a happy little bush right here. It's got a little happy little bush right down in here, $65,000, and that is also present in the chart on another metric, which is the golden pocket from this low to this high. Boom, right at $65,000. So this tells me that if price action comes down into this, which we've already tapped, but if we come back down into this, we lose that, then we're likely going down to the bottom side of this rising wedge, which is right here at 61. And some people are going to lose their mind. It's over. They've never been in the market cycle if they're feeling that. I'm excited about if this does come down in here, this means we're going to have another opportunity. And remember, your alts are more likely than not moving further to the downside than Bitcoin is. You may get bigger rewards with those alts, but you have to also know you're taking on more risk and they can move more volatilely. That also means on a percentage basis, you may be getting a better opportunity on dips on any of those alts that you haven't added the amount that you want or you haven't picked up yet, or so on and so forth. Now let's go ahead and look at some of these other things. Ethereum, kind of a pretty big broadening wedge. See these levels getting wider throughout? Rising broadening wedges tend to break to the downside. This is what we're getting, but this is holding relatively nicely. We can also do option F, bottom to top. And look at this. Look at where it is. Right in, and I'm doing this from these candle bodies. Right in this golden pocket zone. Came right into this zone. Now, if we lose that, it just so happens at the next level that we have, we can draw a little bit of put a little happy bush right over here. Boom. The next level down is 35, and the one below that is down here at 33, this sort of area right here, 33, 60, 33, 30. But this is just to be prepared. It doesn't mean I think it's going there. Sometimes you put levels on the chart, so in case that happens, you are not reacting emotionally. Your emotional actions in this market is what donates your money to people that are trading and investing with methodology rather than their emotions. What we're seeing right now is a necessary shakeout of people that are in this chart, in these charts, especially hype cycle buyers that recently bought the recent top, but flopping and groping, as CryptoFace calls it. But what we're seeing here is first an expansion to the downside, a little bit of a retest up, and then continuation. But this is starting to round out a little bit. We want to watch this $3,600 level. And we talked about this yesterday. We talked about, let's put it on this chart right here, the chart that I was using yesterday. We talked about, that's right, that $3,745 level. This is the area, this level right here. Let me delete this line. This 38, 33. This is a level that we marked out when price was doing this. I said, watch out for this level. Boom. That night, it touched that level. And then yesterday, this price action was somewhere over in this region. And I said, okay, we got to watch for the next level down. It's just 37.45. It came right into this level. Now we're losing it again. So what does it mean? We look to the next level on the chart. If we just do it on a very easy methodology, sometimes you just look left and say, where's the last top? Does that last top have any other data? Well, here's the top. Here's a price action, finding support right on it, and then launching. So my vision says, okay, we also have these two order blocks. Let's turn off the BitLab volume. See those green boxes disappeared? Those are order blocks that automatically get printed on the chart based on the data of where there was liquidity interest injected into the order books, people trying to buy or sell with large orders, big money players at price levels. So we have big money order interest down here in this $3,185 all the way up to $3,500 region, okay? And we also have this previous range top as well as a price action hesitating right here at this level as well. So this suggests that if we are going to go lower, that the next level down would be this $3,500 mark. Now, if it moves there, you're not like, God dang it, it's dropping again. You can only be frustrated if it's going against the plan that you have. And if you have a plan, that doesn't mean you want it to go up and you're planning. No, having a plan means it's going to go up, down, or sideways. What is your course? Let me say this again. If you're frustrated by the market moving in any direction, it just dropped. It's an indication that you don't have a plan. Having some lines on a chart and planning those upside targets is not a plan. Having a plan for downside, sideways, and upside, knowing what you're going to do in any situation, having it mapped and outlined before it happens so that you can act on your strategy and not react with your emotion, which is what this market is doing right now, trying to take your money. That's what this is all about. Having a plan, having plans so we can enact those plans in a moment's notice because we're not flopping and groping because the market moved and now we're hopeful, we're scared, we're in fear. No, we're going to dominate this market because we're prepared. I hope you follow for more so we can take you down this road and get you to that promised land, baby. That's what this is all about. So we got some altcoins we got to look at right now. So let's look at them. Where's that list? Okay, we got ARB, ALGO. Now I got to go over to the BitLab members stream. Sorry, the members chat and see what you guys were saying. Okay, MATIC from Pradeep. I can't do all of them. I'm picking 5. MATIC, Ocean. I don't know what Tree is. Maybe we can do that at the end. If we do a meme coin, I don't even know what Wolf is. We can do Wolf. I try to save the meme coin stuff for Mondays for the Crypto Degen show that we do on the BitLab. We do, if you come here on home, scroll down, you'll see Degen Den. That we've only done 2 so far because we're only doing them on Mondays. We do micro caps and meme coins, breaking things down on there, me and Rodney from My Crypto Journey. But let's go see what the other ones are. We got Ocean, MATIC, STX, okay. I'm just looking at what you guys are asking. Caspa, man, we haven't looked at Caspa in a minute, have we? What else we got? XLM or DOT? All right, everybody in the chat right now, if you wanted to do TA on one of those 2 coins, let's see which one dominates, XLM or DOT. You guys let me know. Whichever one I see the most of, I will do the TA on. Okay. Is there any others? I don't have. Okay. All right. The one I saw. Okay, I see DOT. I haven't even seen one XLM. All right. Let's do it. You guys ready for some TA? You guys ready for some TA on some altcoins? I want to see that like button go up. I love it when I see some people drop off because they can't be patient for 8 seconds. Guys, we got some good stuff here. And if you can't be patient for 8 seconds before you see some TA, you don't deserve profits anyway. So that's what this is about. Patience, planning. Let's talk about these chains. All right, let's go ahead and look at it. We're going to do ARB first. ARB, Arbitrum Crypto. USDT. All right, let's look at it. Let's get on the 12-hour. Let's just get a little general layout of what we're seeing here. We have this line that we really want to pay attention to because it's a previous range high zone, and the price action is testing this zone over here. Now we also have this level right in here that we are kind of testing a breakout to the downside on. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Let's got a little bit of a channel here. All right, now let's get down to the 2-hour. Actually, let's get back to the 12-hour. I want to look at the money flow. Money flow is negative on the 12-hour. Not good. Stochastics, see this trend line? Come up, rejection, come up, rejection, come up, rejection. Now, similarly, we have a little bit of weakness here in the RSI. RSI's now, this was at 37. This is down to 29, but it is starting to round. But the VWAP, look at this, broke below the zero line, came up to the zero line and said, no, we want to play the negative spread. Not only did the money go negative, but we also see the VWAP boom. This means the price is moving away from the volume weighted average price. Now, when we look at this with the indicators on the charts here, we can see the price action is moving away from this yellow line, volume weighted average price, coming down to the downside. Now, when we're looking here on the 4-hour time frame, let's see what's going on here. So we've been having the VWAPs being a little bit flat on the lower side, a little bit of a spike right back down, and we're also seeing a little bit of, I won't even call it negative money flow. This did flip negative, but it's neutral, which is why it's gray. But here's the saving grace if you're a bull. On the 4-hour, we have the stochastic line sort of rounding out. We have the RSI sort of rounding out. This may be getting into be an exhausted move. We also have 1, 2, 3 bullish signals out of the 6. One of them is neutral. So we're kind of starting to round out to have some bullish signals line up here on Arbitrum, even though we, and this is going to be, I drew that on the 12-hour. Let's go ahead and draw this a little bit more constructively. Boom. Okay, so there. God dang it. There we go. Just like that. So now we're technically testing this support line. Yes, we've broken below it with the wick. The bulls brought it right back up. And these can be, you know, these are all, remember, your trend lines are always a suggestion. They're not absolutes. It also may depend on what exchange you're looking at. So what we're seeing right here is, yes, we're kind of lost it and we've come right back up into it. So the make or break right now on this move is if this can sort of hold here and then start pushing up. And then we need to contend with this 20 moving average EMA ribbon right here, as well as this dynamic resistance zone. And if the price does start pushing up, look at this, we have this reversal candle, spinning top. So we're coming into a support line. We have a candle saying the bearish narrative is now neutral with bulls. So if it was expanding bearish and now it's neutral, potential for this to bounce here. We also see the stochastics are starting to round out, maybe ready to make that move to the upside. If this does bounce, ultimately I'd be watching a very shallow bounce at $1.93. $1.93 into this zone. And if it's able to overtake that, then likely coming up to test this trend signal line here up in this, basically the $2 mark, which is also this order block, which is directly above our head. We need to clear this range. If we clear this order block, this also means we cleared this dynamic resistance zone, the trend signal line, and we're ultimately testing the VWAP. If we want to be bullish, we want to get the price action to come up here and break through this weekly VWAP, this yellow line right here. So that's what I'm seeing on Arbitrum. If we lose this, I'd be watching for the next level down, $1.75. Previous range low, right in here. I don't know what the hell is it. Oh yeah. Previous range low, as well as that much, quite a while ago, previous range high before it broke down many moons ago. But so this is in line with where this order block is right below us, printed automatically for you on the chart with the order blocks here on the BitLab trading stack. So I'd be watching $1.75 or $2 for which direction the move is going to run. Now, next one up, ALGO. Man, we haven't looked at ALGO in a minute. Let's look at ALGO. You go, we go together. It's kind of like Ethereum did, right? Rising, broadening wedge a little bit. Let's go ahead and draw this more pretty. Option T. I have a rising channel. I have a rising channel. Rising channel on the 4-hour. If we take a move, I would do it from here because this was bottom to top Fibonacci. Let's turn off the volume so we can see all the data here. So look at this. This broke down off this, came right into the 382. So not only did it come into the, let me move this. Not only did it come into, move that over. Not only did it come into the 382, it also got sucked back up into above this rising level of support. Price action is currently below the VWAP. So it's a battle to see what direction they're going to play the spread. If Bitcoin is able to bounce relatively strongly today or sometime in the next 24 hours, then it's likely that it will move and then yank the rest of the market up with it. If it doesn't, and it makes that move down to 61, then this is likely going to make that move one down to 25 cents and then likely ultimately test down here into this 23-cent zone. Now, why do I say 25 cents? Arbitrary, it's in the middle of nowhere. I'm looking at where my mouse is, and the crosshair has lines both up and down that go across the entire chart. So when I move my mouse, I can see right here, watch, I can do Option H, do a horizontal ray. There's a range top and a range bounce right at the same level. That's right at the 25-cent level. So if we come down and lose this, I'd be watching this ultimately for a potential maybe bear trap and then bounce. But ultimately, if we lose this, and I don't want to say foregone conclusion, but very likely we're coming down to this 23, potentially even testing down here into 21. We did have some bearish divergence on the stochastics, a little bit of bearish divergence on the RSI. See these two peaks right here, lower, and this is higher. And the price action sliced through the trend signal line. Look at this. Bounced on the VWAP. Bears weren't ready to play the negative spread. It came up, so it fell through the trend signal line, came up, and now said, no, we're going bearish because it got rejected. And what happened? Trend signal line turned red. And then it falls through the VWAP. Great signal here on the BitLab trading stack if you do own it. Watching these things play out. Now, in this case, this came down, it got rejected in the zone and found support on the trend signal, on the VWAP, pushed back above it, support. So there's two different scenarios playing out there. This fell through the trend signal line, came down to VWAP, bounced up, and got rejected by the trend signal line and then fell down. So this is the area we're watching right now, this 27 to 28 region right in here. If this will likely consolidate in the zone and then decide which direction it moves based on the direction that either Bitcoin moves or the fact that there's some big news article that's positive for algo. Because remember, I know this wasn't on y'all's list, but we have to look. One of the only coins that didn't have a negative movement here through all this was Solana. Solana has just been ripping higher. Solana has just been ripping higher. Bounce, bounce, VWAP, whipsaw everybody out, up, bounce. Now it's pushing up. Let's watch for where the next test of this weekly VWAP is. Right now it's at 159. The price is at 180. Do you guys remember? Boom, let's zoom out on this. Look at this. This got down to $8. This is up here at 180. What does that gain? People that were buying the data, the GitHub data, the developer data, 2,000. This is a 20x from the market cycle bottom, January of last year, 20x already. And this bull market is now just really getting underway for the broader market. This probably is going to do some things that a lot of people, even me, did not expect when it was down in the zones. So when we're looking at the 2 hour, there's a little bit of weakness coming in here. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for this to trade sideways or come down at some point, have this weekly VWAP rise a little bit, but come down, test, have some sort of, this looks like it's corrections or sideways. So push up, sideways, push up, sideways. So let's look for a little bit of a sideways action, potentially whipsaw on this. Now let's go through the next one. MATIC. Actually, I have it on my chart on it. Okay. So we have this trend. We have this trend line right here. Boom. So bounce, 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 bounce. We can actually draw this a little bit more. There we go. All right. Now these shifts are calling this perfect on MATIC. Potential reversal down. Boom. Shift down. Reversal up. Shift down. Reversal up. BitLab trading stack's been killing it on these alts. Now, what do we see? Price action fell through the trend signal line. It broke down through the VWAP and got rejected here, roughly about where this VWAP and dynamic resistance zone is. And then down, a little hesitation at this trend line, but see what happened back here, deviation down. Remember, there's some big things coming to Polygon, and it's also going to be a beneficiary of the Ethereum upgrade, the Denkun upgrade. So I have all eyes on what's going on with Polygon. I couldn't believe I hadn't stacked into it in that public alt portfolio that I shared with you all. And I finally did. I think it was like a week ago or something. We, threw $3,000 in there. We got 3,000 MATIC at least. But looking at this on this chart, we can see. Let's see right here. Option F from the bottom to the top. Look where it went from this move. Came right into the golden pocket. Golden pocket is also somewhat previous range lows and all this price interactivity over here, this top, etc. So if we lose this level, the next level down is maybe coming down into that dollar mark, that $1.04 sort of zone, which is a 786. We lose $1. I think rather than being scared with how strong this community is, I'd be a net buyer on this if this did lose $1. But ultimately, I think there's more likely that this is a deviation below. This will likely get sucked back up into here. And then we're going to want to watch this get pinched between the VWAP and this line once the price action is back up in here. Where is my marker? Coming back up in here, pinch here, and then make another move. So patience right now. If this drops lower, great. More opportunity. I'd be stacking. Ocean. We haven't looked at Ocean in a minute. A lot of people love Ocean. There's just so much attention you could put on things. All right. So we got a little bit of falling channel there. Okay. Let's zoom in. Let's get to the 4 hour. 4 hour. Look at this. Fell through the trend signal line, finding resistance on it. And then the VWAP gets sucked up into this. And the price action loses the VWAP. And now it's using the VWAP and the 20 moving average here. 20 moving average as resistance. Fake out up to the VWAP. The bulls don't want the positive spread. Comes back below and is finding resistance on this 20 moving average as we see it right now. So let's do the same thing we've been doing on this move on all the other projects. Let's do a move here. And look at this. Coming down into the golden pocket. So if we lose this, I'd look at it potentially coming down to this 97 cent sort of mark. But I think I'm of the indication, or my bias is right now, that we're more likely going to get a bounce. I'm prepared. You guys see it. I'm prepared if we get that move to the downside. But I wouldn't be surprised if all of this is a washout only to push up. It's going to be dependent on the options expiry that's happening today. It's like $3 billion or something. But more so, what the data is, if we're starting to actually see signs of slowing down from institutions and ETFs, that could cause a little bit of a rocky weekend. Be prepared for a rocky weekend if that happens. But if we do get a rocky weekend, AKA price drops between Friday and Sunday, then that also means that we will have a CME gap above where the price is when the markets open, when the CME futures markets open back up Sunday night. That's not a bad thing. That means if price moves down, then we have a magnet essentially above our head to bring us back up and try to fill that CME gap. So, I mean, Ocean, yeah, I'd be looking for a potential, we got a little bit of a bounce here. Let's see what happens in the zone. If we can clear $1.11, then we'd be basically starting to contend this is going to be sucked down into the zone. We really want to clear, we want to look for the price action clearing the weekly VWAP. Right now it's at $1.19 and a candle or two more. It'll probably drop to $1, I don't know, $1.17, $1.15. We're going to want to watch it clear that and then play a bounce on that to the upside. But that's what we're seeing. Let's see, STX. And let me just take a moment, by the way. Let me go over to viewer activity. I want to make sure I did not miss any super chats or gifts. No, I did not. But shout out to, again, Alexander G for those 5 Get to memberships. Analytics. Okay, there we go. All right. So what are we looking at? Stacks. How many of you out there hold stacks? How many of you are playing any coins? Let me know what they are if you are. How many of you all are playing the BRC20 narrative and this sort of layer 2 and DeFi on Bitcoin sort of narrative. What coins are you playing in that area? And yeah. Yeah, there you go. All of MATIC is supplied, meaning it's out. Now, it should finally be able to move this year. $2.50 is reasonable. Yeah, I think that's more. I think MATIC is so strong, it's almost like its own layer one, even though it's on top of, it has such a big community, so many partnerships. So stacks, let's look at it. 12 hours. Okay, a little bit of it's somewhat bearish, actually, this sort of move, because we have this sort of hump, larger hump. It's a little bit of a head and shoulders here with stacks, which is a little concerning on a technical level. We also see the money flow flip bearish. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6 signals are somewhat bearish on the 12-hour. We were sitting here right on the edge of this cliff. We did have a wick come down here and sort of get sucked back up into it. But what we want to see is, boom, option J. This is where the previous range high was, back over here. And not only that, you see on the BitLab trading stack, this line that's right here. This line is not an arbitrary line. This is showing, you can use this as a necessary sort of level, indication of a level of support or resistance when price does dip, because this is where high volume, there was a shift in high volume. So we had high volume selling and then stopping volume. So it puts a line on this chart right here. So we can just sort of mimic this line, option J, and this sort of broadcasts it array across the chart. So if we do lose this, head and shoulders-ish pattern, then let's go ahead and see if there's a target that aligns up with where that line is. Well, what do you know? That means that, one, I'm going to try and figure out my dry powder situation, because I just exhausted a good portion of it this morning for my altcoin portfolio for picking up TIA. But this suggests, and if I believe in stacks, that if we do get this breakdown, rather than be frustrated, we already see it mapped out. If it does drop into the zone, previous range high, and perfectly in line with the target out of this head and shoulders, lines up with this previous range, indicating that this region is a good region to be looking at. Let's go ahead and go. There we go. Put a little target box right in there. Boom. Now we do option F, top to the bottom. And look at that. Not only is it a target from the breakdown and the previous range, there's also a golden pocket right there. So we're seeing some confluence in areas at these zones. So that's a good thing. Now, let's see, Caspa. We got Caspa and Dot, and then I got to get out of here, guys, because I got some things I got to get done. All right, so we have a downtrend going on there. Caspa, we have. So we've lost option J. So this previous range highs, look at this rejection here. We were bouncing on it. This is a little bit bearish for Caspa that we have lost this zone, because it has been fairly important since November 2023. It was the rejection zone here, and it's been the support zone somewhat in this area. Now, if we do option F from the bottom to the top, guys, every time I say option F, if you're on a PC, you can do alt F, and you do it. Watch. Option F, I just press it, and then I click on the chart. Boom, it opens my fib. I just move my thing, and then I click again, and it closes it. If you want to fib another way, come over here, 1, 2, third tool down, fib retracement. You can also click these little arrows and get other things within this, but we're doing the fib retracement every time I say option F. And we're clicking from the bottom to the top to see where a likely bounce or a retracement will come to. The golden Fibonacci, the golden ratio, 0.618 right here. And I also add a 0.65, and the price action has come right down into the zone. So let's see what happens here on any sort of move up. If we get rejected here, then we're likely coming down to the 786, because it's not just a random number at this point, because we can see, watch, we have essentially all these previous range lows and these previous range highs right in here. See that? Bounce, bounce, bounce within it, rejection the top side, rejection the top side. And we can see perfectly in line with where this 786 is. So are we going to get an 11 cent Caspa? Could be a good opportunity. If we're able to push up and take this out, we need to, I mean, it's nice that the weekly VWAP is coming right in line with this. That means we're likely, if we clear this trend line here, we're also clearing the weekly VWAP, and we want to clear the trend signal line once we get into that, once we get up into that zone as well. So it's not a fake out. But things are having a bit of a retracement. They're giving opportunity. Let's let the opportunity, it may give us better opportunity here in the near future. Point being is we can't be mad at what's happening in the charts right now. So get out to the 4-hour, option F. So this had a rising wedge as well. See, boom, boom, boom. This looks a lot like Bitcoin just did. And we got that breakdown. So what is the move that we just did on all the other coins from this same move in the charts up right now? Look where we're at, bounced right at the golden pocket. So if we are able to push up, let's watch for one, a push up and potential rejection back down. Will I check Cryptex Finance, please? I've never heard of it. I will pull it up because he super chatted. Thank you very much, Mr. Brandon McGill. Big love to you. We'll do Cryptex Finance. Unless there's any other super chats, I'll with coins, and I'll be getting out of here. But boom, boom. So this is bouncing off the golden pocket. Bulls ate this up rather quickly. Buying Spoiler. If we do come back down, I'd be watching this basically $10 mark. I'd be watching $10 mark. And if we lose that, then likely coming, testing a bit lower. Things are following what's going on with the Bitcoin hype right now. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So what is Cryptex Finance? Cryptex. So CTX. So listed on Coinbase, drop. Right. We've got a bull flag here. Kind of coming up right into the target that this bull flag indicated. This is on the 2-week chart. So let's get down to the 4-hour chart. Delete this line now. Yeah, so it's almost realized all the way up to this target already. And this is very pump-mentally pump. I mean, this is a massive drop. 40% drop. 36, I should say. 40% drop. So because of the nature of this, it's hard to say because look at this. There's negative money flow here and then it pumps. You get a little bit of a blip here, but then we have negative money flow here and the VWAP is angling down to the downside right now. I'd be watching for a test. Before I got into this, I'd be watching for a test back into this VWAP, weekly VWAP here at 467-ish. Maybe a little bit below because we're seeing this deviate a little bit below each time before I were to get in this because you see each time 1, 2, 3, we haven't gotten that similar sort of move to the downside. Now this may continue ripping, but do you want to jump in the middle of something when it's already showing a little hesitation? We got a trend shift signal right here. This is on the 4-hour. What does it say on the 1-hour? Okay, on the 1-hour. I mean, I'm just following the patterns in the chart. This is, I'd be looking for a move down into the between $4.50 and $5 and ride that next pump up if you were going to do that. But that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. Everybody, by the way, markets, we got to keep that promo going because everybody, I want you guys to be able to take advantage of it. We're doing so many member streams. We have a whole new list of coins that are in that BitLab member zone. Become a member, 30-day free trial. If you want these indicators I'm showing you, that's part of the BitLab trading stack. When you come and sign up here, as soon as you sign up, this is 30-day free trial. There's an upgrade option that you can add the indicators and the courses, and that's not a free trial. That's immediate, but it's the lowest price we've ever offered on that. If you sign up here, which is at lab.bitlabacademy.com, join here. Free trial. I'm putting it in the it's in the live chat there, lab.bitlabacademy.com/Josh. You can sign up 30 days free for our premium Discord where we're sharing so much stuff in here. You have access to Joshua, Jake, you have access to me. Josh is sharing calls, updates on a daily basis. He has his own chat with his super tight crew as well. I'm dropping just straight alpha in here, updating you guys what I'm doing with my portfolio. Even the fact that I, bought MATIC TIA this morning. We got calls in here, scalps in here. Get involved in our premium Discord. The link's right there, lab.bitlabacademy.com. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. The markets will likely be a little volatile this weekend. Don't let it shake you out. Realize it's presenting opportunity. I love you. That's all I got. Adios, mother muchachos. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. I love you guys. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Ding the bell. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.